Sir? Wake up, sir. It's time to go.
What? Are you mad? It's still dark.
I thought we were going to get an early start, sir.
Early means at first light. Light, you dolt. Do you want me to break my neck in the black of night? Go back to sleep. Damn it.
Sir? Wake up, sir. It's time to go.
What? Are you...
Sir? Wake up, sir. It's time to go.
What? Are you mad? It's still dark.
I thought we were going to get an early start, sir.
Early means at first light. Light, you dolt. Do you want me to break my neck in the black of night? Go back to sleep. Damn.
Sir? Wake up, sir. It's time to go.
What?
Sir?
What?
What?
What are you waiting for? Your lord requires you for the hunt.
Oh, really? Such a renowned hunter needs help?
You wouldn't dare mock your betters now, would you?
Heaven forbid, your lord.
Peasant, we'll meet back here at noon. Whoever has the most hares wins. Oh, and if you don't have anything to shoot with, there's a crate in the camp with some old hunting equipment. You can help yourself. After all, there's no sport in trouncing some wretch who hasn't a chance in hell.
By all means, Sir Hans.
Ha! You'll soon be laughing on the other side of your grubby face. And now turn your back for a while. I know a few tried and tested spots in these woods, and I don't want you stealing them. Well, we had a pleasant chat that time, didn't we, Henry? Whatever you do, don't go real fucking quiet. Will you be fucking quiet?
fucking quiet. For heaven's sake, Henry, you're scaring away the hares. Will you be fucking quiet? Henry, you don't be quiet. For heaven's sake, Henry, you're scaring away the hares.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir?
Not now, blacksmith. Keep it for morning. What are you waiting for? Your lord requires you for the hunt.
Oh, really? Such a renowned hunter needs help?
You wouldn't dare.
Maybe you're...
Well, we had a pleasant chat that time, didn't we, Henry?
Whatever you... Are you watching, Henry? heaven's sake, Henry, you're scaring away the hares. Henry.
Good boy. Good, that's my boy.
Will you be fucking quiet? Will you be fucking quiet? Henry, you don't be quiet.
How did the hunt go for you, sir? I did quite well. Look.
Why do you ask? You were right on my arse the whole time. Not bad, though. Quite good, actually. For a common blacksmith's boy.
Shouldn't there be some reward for the victor?
Jesus, the insolence. A serf asking his lord for coin. But never let it be said I'm a pinch purse. Very well, then.
Your serf humbly thanks you, my lord.
And now come along. Let's go and hunt some real game. Henry, mount up and let's go hunting.
See here, a wallow, and it's been freshly rooted. There'll be boar somewhere nearby, so, just like last time.
You want to take him down with an arrow? Certainly. Why wouldn't I? You won't kill him like that. Boar is hunted with spears. Is that so? So now all of a sudden you're a master huntsman, are you? Watch and learn.
Did you see that? Damn, I'm good. Quiet. So, next time you try to tell me I can't kill a boar with an arrow, you could... Fuck! After him! Fetch! Mount up, Henry. We're going to chase down that swine! Thanks, Henry. We'd better vanish quickly. Follow me. Be a bit more careful. Jesus, look where you're going. Hey! What the hell was that? I'll have a bronze bust made of you, my friend. But where have you been till now?
Oh, you know, I was picking berries, had a drink of wine, took a little nap.
You lunatic! They almost had me roasting on a spit!
I'd say it looked more like they were about to take your maidenhood.
Now look here, dung grubber. Is that any way to speak to a nobleman?
I apologise, sir. I'm just glad you're all right.
I'm yanking your pizzle, you dolt! Thank you for rescuing me.
That wound doesn't look good, Sir Hans.
You're right. Those cumin swine roughed me up a bit. And my damned horse is bolted. You'll have to get me home somehow.
The sooner we get out of here, the better. Who knows how many bandits are creeping around here.
Let's go then. I've had quite enough excitement already.
It's Lord Capon. Get here, everybody. You, help him.
How is it possible, Ratsy? Those bastards make so bold no more than a mile from the castle. We'll have to send out more patrols.
That won't do us any good, Hanush. Even if we had 10 times the men, we couldn't beat through every thicket in the fiefdom.
You sent for me, sir?
Come in.
I don't know how to thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, Hans would be dead. And to think I sent you out with him as a punishment.
I was only doing my duty, sir.
Don't be so modest, young Henry. You showed not only courage, but loyalty to your liege. That's why I'm taking you into my personal service.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Well, let's celebrate your promotion and Sir Hans's recovery. Well, don't just stand there, lad. Pour us a drink.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but I've urgent tidings.
What now?
A stable boy came from Neuhof. He says brigands raided the stud farm this morning. There's many dead or maimed.
Kurva!
Tell us exactly what happened.
I'm not sure. The boy was so shook up he could barely speak. He said the bandits murdered for the joy of it. I'm sorry, sir. Your vassal Smill is dead.
Who did this? Who were they?
We don't know, sir. The stable boy just kept babbling about some huge fellow in black armor who led the attack.
Take as many men as you need, and don't stop until you've found those bastards. and bring me their heads!
Yes, sir.
My men at your disposal too, Hanush.
Thank you, friend.
Sir, let me ride with them.
He's full of piss and vinegar, isn't he?
Their leader, he must be the one who attacked me at Skalitz. There can't be two men in the whole kingdom who look like that.
You think he might still have my sword? No doubt you could use another swordsman, Captain.
As you command, my lord.
How soon can you leave, Bernard?
Soon as the men are ready, sir.
Good. Wait in the courtyard for Henry. And, give him a horse.
His own mount?
His reward for saving Sir Hans. He'll need it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, go! I want these culprits in the hands of the executioner as soon as possible.
I won't let you down, sir.
The Neuhoff stud farm's been raided.
Damn!
We
Be a
don't
bit
know
more
much about
careful.
what happened, just what that Neuhoff stable boy told us. Get your arses mounted up and let's ride out. On the double. Maybe we'll catch up with that rabble.
What are you playing at with that weapon?
Can we go? Are you ready?
Are you serious?
Not yet.
Well, why are you wasting time? We won't wait forever.
Put that weapon away before someone...
Jesus, what do you want from me now?
Where's your master?
In the paddock.
Crucifix? What kind of beasts could do this?
By the blood of the martyrs. What happened here? Why?
Someone came at night and hamstrung every one of them. The horses, screaming, must have woke poor Radek, the stable boy. And when he tried to stop them... And then my husband, when my husband tried to help them, they killed him too. And when they were done, they put a torch to the stables.
My sincere condolences, ma'am. I swear we'll hunt those monsters down and make them pay for this.
The horses were still alive when I came. We had to finish them off. All of them. The pain in their eyes. They couldn't understand how anyone could do this to them.
Did they steal anything? Any horses?
Nothing. They wanted blood, not coin.
Did your husband quarrel lately? Was there anyone who might want revenge?
He argued over the price of a saddle, maybe, but nothing that could drive a man to this.
These are dark days when there's more kindness in horses than in men. Did you see anything? How many were there? Or what did they look like?
We saw no one.
Has anyone tried to follow the trail?
No. We were fighting the blaze until now, and even if we weren't, what chance would any of us have against someone who could do this?
Pox on it. Mount up and quarter the area. We have to find out where they went. Look for tracks and ask the folk if they saw anyone. Fuck! Someone must have at least caught sight of them.
Yes, sir.
What about me, Captain?
What the hell use are you? You stay here.
Please, let me do something. I could have a look around the area and see if they left any tracks.
Well, if you must. Just don't get in anyone's way, don't go too far, and come back here when you're done.
If it was for profit, at least I'd understand. But why kill for nothing?
But I'd just like to know.
And I'd like for my friend not to be murdered while you get warm and safe.
Smell. The stud farm owner.
Ask.
I can come back later if you...
No. I saw you came with the soldiers, and the sooner you know everything, the sooner you'll catch those savages.
Who should I question about the raid? Did anyone here see anything?
From what I've heard, Mark was the first one to wake. It might be a good idea to talk to him. Jacob, the old stable boy. He even fought with them. Ginger was sleeping in the stable. He might have seen something. I don't know of anyone else.
I'm sorry to trouble you, ma'am, but could you tell me about the raid?
The noise woke us up. Me and Smill. We thought the horses were restless, or maybe some drunk had staggered here from the inn.
Do you get drunks coming here a lot?
Sometimes, but not this time. My husband went out to see what was going on. Then I just heard loud voices and screaming. It's so stupid. It didn't even occur to me at first that something could have happened to Smil. I didn't find out until the morning.
Did you recognize any of the voices you heard?
No, but they spoke Czech, cursing like demons, even at each other.
At each other? They quarrelled?
Yes. Something must have happened.
And where did you hear this noise?
Everywhere. It was chaos. I don't even know how many of them there were.
I mean at the very start. Do you remember where you heard the noise come from then?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Did you get a look at them? There's one man, huge and dressed all in black. Did you see him?
No, I didn't. God bless.
Another useless soldier come to ask questions. You should have fucking been here last night.
I'm not a soldier. I'm one of the survivors from Skalitz.
Huh. I see, lad. Well then, what do you need to know?
What in the world happened here?
The bastards attacked us. At night, a little before dawn.
And how did you come by that wound?
I heard someone talking, so I went to look outside. Then I saw what they'd done to the horses. I shouted at those bastards. Caught one by the cloak and started beating him.
Without a weapon? With just your fists?
Yeah. But he cut me pretty good, the fucker. Lucky for me the others started to come out then, so the raiders ran. All that's left is his cloak.
And you've got no idea why they did it?
Something must have gone wrong for them. They ran off without taking anything.
There's one man in particular. Huge. Dressed all in black. Voice loud enough to crack stone. Did you see him?
Who the fuck do you think half killed me?
So he really was here. The bastard. Can you help me?
How?
You know the area. How can I figure out which way they went?
They left in a hurry. You could see if there's a fence knocked down, or a gate.
What the hell? Damn. Huh? You serious?
How could anyone be so cruel?
Hey! Watch it. No.
is it? Huh? Watch where you're going.
I swear I won't let you destroy it.
Damn!
Hey!
What the hell?
Jesus! See what they did here? Kill them! Find those horse sons and kill them!
What? Who's there?
Easy. I just came to ask...
I don't know anything.
Are you hurt?
No, nothing. Not a scratch.
What really happened here?
I don't know. Someone attacked. I don't know who.
You didn't happen to hear where they came from?
No, I didn't see a thing.
well?
Leave me alone. Go away.
Look, I know that it's difficult.
But when I say talk, I don't expect to be ignored.
No more, no more. Leave me alone, all of you.
What did you ever do to anyone?
Are you well?
Leave me alone. Go away.
But there's no need to be afraid. With your help, I'll find those bastards and then I'll make them pay.
They deserve it. What do you need to know?
What actually happened here?
They killed the animals and... Why did they kill them?
Did they take anything?
No.
Think carefully now. How did it all start?
We heard the animals, their shrieks, then Smill. He shouted, and they murdered him.
You're certain it was the animals first, and then Smill? Not the other way round?
I'm certain. I'd never heard a sound like that before. Now I'll never forget it.
What happened after that?
We ran outside and it was chaos. Animals were dying, the stables were burning, and those demons everywhere.
The stables were already burning. Didn't that happen after they fled?
No, it was to set the blaze when they arrived.
You said they were demons?
No, just vermin. Worthless human vermin.
How many of them were there?
Not many. There were just a few that came after us, but more round the back. I heard them yelling at each other.
So they were yelling because of all the noise?
No, something happened. They quarrelled.
In the back? Where?
Towards the woods. To the north. They were trying to get away.
So some of them were running away and the others were fighting?
Aye. For a time. Then more of us came out and we fought back, so the others fled as well.
Where? Where did they run to?
To the north. Into the woods.
Thanks. That's all I needed to ask. They went deeper and deeper, for sure.
back to the camp and I'll take care of you there.
No, my friend. I'm not long for this world. Go, before someone finds us here. Don't worry about me.
You know I can't leave. Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter. You fucked up. Ah! Well landed. I'll wring your neck, cur. Ow. Oh dear, did that hurt? Oh. Herrgott. Come on then, horse son. Ow. Ow. You're dead. Get back. You're dead.
Don't talk that way. We'll get back to the camp and I'll take care of you there. No, my friend.
What have we got here? Entertainment. Great. Gone weak at the knees, have you? Is that the best you could do? You call that combat? Is that all you've got? What's the matter? Come on.
You're doing? Put the weapon away.
Such senseless brutality. They slaughtered horses as well as people, and yet it seems they didn't take anything. Do you know whose hoofpick this is?
Ginger's. He was always bragging about it. Why do you ask?
I found it on one of the bandits in the woods.
But he... Because of him? Because of him they murdered us? Lord in heaven!
Wait, hold on. You think Ginger was responsible for the attack?
He ran off! Don't you see?
was acting so strange and then he ran off. Why the hell would he do that?
That does sound rather odd.
And you don't know where Ginger could have gone?
Dunno. Ask Jakob.
Do you know anything about this hoof pick?
Yeah, it's Ginger's. He had it made in mate.
Any idea where I might find this Ginger?
Well, that's the thing. He packed up and left.
What?
Look, I know how he looks. But Ginger is a fine fellow. I don't believe he had anything to do with the attack.
Where could he have fled to?
I might know. But you gotta promise me one thing. When you find him, listen to what he has to say before judging.
You have my word.
Sometimes the charcoal burners come to see him. He gets on well with them. I think that's where he's gone.
And where is that?
No idea. They've always kept to themselves, you know. Charcoal burners.
But the forest is full of folk like that. They could be anywhere.
Aye, except these ones won't be far. If you follow the stream from the stud farm towards Rate, you'll come across one of their camps. Only
what?
Ginger didn't go that way, though. He always went by the big road, through the woods in the direction of Ujits.
But how can I find them?
There's always smoke when they work. You'll smell them before you see them. And they need to be near water. There's that too.
So if I go through the woods along running water, I'll find them?
Exactly.
Good day to you.
I think Ginger is mixed up in it somehow.
Why do you say that?
The hoof pick I found on the dead bandit in the woods is his.
That is fucking suspicious.
He disappeared right after we found those bandits in the woods. And I think I know where he went.
Where?
To the charcoal burners. He has friends there.
We've got to find him. But if his friends really are hiding him, I doubt they'll talk to my men. You should search for him, Henry. Go, before the trail turns cold. I'll send a report to Rate.
Very well, sir. Any chance of some work here, Captain?
It all depends on what you're ready to do, my man. I'm sure you've noticed the roads around here are swarming with brigands. Sir Hanush has declared quite a reward for dealing with them.
So what do you think I should do about them?
We know about one of their encampments. It's to the east of Ratai in an abandoned mine. I don't really mind how you deal with them. Anyway, the leaders generally wear spurs, maybe like they're pretending they're nobility. Who cares? In any case, bring me the spurs, and I'll take it as proof that the deed's done.
Very well. I'll see to it.
Wait. In addition, Sir Hanush has offered a reward for every bandit who's killed. So take a good sharp dagger.
get a bit extra for each ear you bring.
Isn't that a bit barbaric?
Barbaric ways for barbaric times, my boy.
That does make sense, I must admit.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for a ginger-haired boy. I hear he's friends with some charcoal burners.
We ain't friends with no redhead.
He works as a stable boy in the stud farm.
I know where that is, but I don't know no one from there.
If you want to ask questions to me and leave the
God be with you. I'm looking for a stable boy from Neuhof.
Then why aren't you looking for him at the stud farm?
Because he fled from there and supposedly went to see some charcoal burners.
He didn't come here. You'll have to try elsewhere.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Could you help me?
Depends what you want, doesn't it?
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof.
They say he ran away and joined up with some charcoal burners he used to hang around with sometimes.
Sorry, there's never been a lad called Ginger around here. You have to try somewhere else.
A murder's been committed at Neuhof, and that boy likely knows who did it. It's vital I find him.
There's been murder aplenty in these parts of late, but that Ginger lad really hasn't been here.
There'll be a lot less murdering going on once I bring those bastards to justice, so how about helping me out?
Calm down, lad. For the love of God. There's been no one like the boy you want round here. But then again, there are other charcoal burners. Try them. You might want to hurry. You're not the first to be asking about him, and the others weren't exactly a noble-looking bunch. Although they were generous with their silver.
They didn't happen to say what they wanted him for?
No. But they definitely didn't look like they wanted to invite him to a feast.
Do you have any idea where else he could have gone?
You said he was friends with the charcoal burners? Well, you'll definitely find some in the forest between Neuhof and Ujetz. There's good spots around there.
But that forest is huge. I could spend weeks searching.
Then follow the river. That's how you found us, isn't it? Where there's charcoal burners, there's always water nearby.
All right, I'll go and ask somewhere else.
Good day to you.
I'm searching for a stable boy from Neuhof. They call him Ginger.
I know him, right enough. But I don't know where he is now.
He's run away from the stud farm. I have to find him.
Well, he's definitely not here. Try the other charcoal burners camp downstream. Maybe he's there.
If there's something you want, better ask me first. God be with you.
I'm looking for Ginger from Neuhof. Do you know anything about him?
I know him. What do you want of him?
There's a few questions I need to ask him.
Well, you'll have to go somewhere else to find him. He doesn't come here much.
If you're hiding him here, please reconsider. It's Sir Radzig who sent me to find him. That boy's testimony could help stop more bloodshed.
I understand the urgency, lad, but really, he doesn't come here. He's friends with some of the boys over by Townburg.
And where can I find them?
Head west along the river and you'll run into them. Oh, and another thing you might like to know. Other people have been sniffing around here for him. Nasty fellas.
Where did they go? What did they look like?
Oh, they headed off to the west. But that doesn't mean anything. And they look... well, one of them came here and asked a lot of questions. And the other one stood off at a distance, scowling, dressed like murderers, the pair of them.
God be with you.
I'm looking for Ginger. I've heard he's here.
With us? Don't know why anyone would tell you that. I've never met him.
They seem pretty certain.
Well, they must have gotten mixed up. There's no one of that description here.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for Ginger from Neuhof. Was he here by any chance?
Ginger, you say? Would he be a red-haired fellow?
Yes, have you seen him?
Let me see now. There was a stranger around here. He didn't have red hair, though, so it wouldn't be him.
Really? Because your neighbours told me they know Ginger and that he comes to visit you.
You can't believe everything you hear. They probably just wanted to get rid of you.
I've no reason not to believe them. I'm investigating the massacre at Neuhof, and that boy knows something about it. I have to talk to him, damn it.
All right. But first you have to prove you're on the right side.
How?
There's been 2 armed men wandering around asking about Ginger. Cutthroats by the look of them. Get rid of them, and we'll let you see Ginger.
There's no time for that. I have to talk to Ginger right now, or things could turn sour.
You bet they'll get sour. Those cutthroats will get tired of waiting and start slaughtering. And that will be your fault.
Be a bit...
What's that? Who's there?
What was that noise?
What have we got here? Entertainment.
All of you, gather
Great.
here. Raise the alarm.
I'll slaughter you.
Go!
Fucking dog.
To arms! Get over here!
What's the matter? Come.
Is that all you've got? I'm gonna enjoy this. You call.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof.
Don't know him.
But they told me at the other camp that he comes to visit you.
Well, they must have got themselves in a muddle. Definitely. There's no Ginger that I've ever heard of. God be with you.
I found those bandits and took care of them.
I'm glad to hear it. If it's true.
If you don't believe me, I can take you to their bodies.
All right. I'll take your word for it. Ginger's hiding out in a ruined hut not far from here. You go north along the road to Ujits until you see a path to the right that leads to a spring. There's an overgrown path from there that'll lead you to where Ginger is. But it's easy to miss it.
Thank you. Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognized? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ujits and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ujits, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
Why did you kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
What fellow?
I don't know his name, but he's from Ujits, and he has a limp.
He limps and he's from Ujits. That's not much to go on, but I suppose it'll have to do.
It's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
You don't have to tell me everything, just who they were and where they went.
I only recognized one of them, a fellow from Ujits with a limp. He lives in a house on the edge of the village, but he's in the tavern there whenever he has the coin.
What else do you know?
Nothing. That's all.
I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but...
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about it all. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
Just try, and you'll see whether they drive you away or not. But if you explain it to them, they're sure to understand.
I suppose you're right. Thank you for your help, and God bless you. What is it?
Jesus Christ be praised.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around in Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
Lord above, what is it now?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujit with a limp.
And his name?
The boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company. Villagers like to gossip.
But what if he's not there? He could have fled, maybe even to Kuttenberg.
If I don't find him in Ujits, I'll ask around. Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Ujits then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hang. Then bring him to me in Mehoyed, and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir.
Why choose Mehoyed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere, and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall. Helpless to do anything about it.
I have some news about the investigation, sir.
Good. Tell me.
The trail leads to Ujits. I found out one of the bandits is from there, a fellow they call Limpy Lubosh.
I see. What else?
That's all I found out so far, sir.
All right. Come back and report to me as soon as you learn anything new.
Is that the best you can do?
Giving up already? Is that all you've got?
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Ow! What's the matter? Come on.
You, Paul.
Is that the best you can do?
Committed a crime and I'm arresting you.
You call that combat? You'll get one for. Bring it on! Go! Is that all you?
Is that the best you can do?
you serious?
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
Another thing about Lubosh. When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Be a bit more careful. Hey, look where you're going.
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much, but I wouldn't wish an end like that on any man.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
He was a loner. He didn't even have any mates in the tavern.
That's all. Thank you.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a priest or clerk. But why not? I've taught all sorts. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few groschen for my trouble.
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get started. The sooner I master it, the better.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days so I can put you through your paces, if indeed time is of the essence.
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start. No. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me, what have you learned?
There was something about some fellow and a goose.
Ah, well, the main thing is you've managed to read the book. The rest is just practice. Only through a careful reading will you uncover the real meaning of the text. No book is written on a mere whim and without purpose. Like I told you, books are valuable, and the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn your way around words will take a lot more reading yet. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. If you really want to be able to read, there's no getting away from Latin. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me to tackle Latin.
You're a clever lad. You'll manage.
What the hell?
read the page.
So tell me, Distrupule, what's written there?
Nullus est liber tam malus, ut non alique parte prosit.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be ordained right away.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot wiser.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
That's all. Thank you.
What is it?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. Never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
That's all. Thank you.
Bringing strange women
Where? My very word. The neighbors are missing two ends already.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Over here. I'll have to get my own ale.
A tankard of ale for me.
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
Here's to a good army.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do.
My pleasure.
Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Got it for you right
I
here.
understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too?
Just as
With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough.
It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panu desej smutek, dodnielo i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majsat, do wczera żylne staje prak. Už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich učit. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si ubí jako poslední den. Buďme se vámi, ano ráda slávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra je tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Don't weaken the knees.
Kurwa! Ow!
Look out! folk these days.
Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon. What is it?
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Are you serious?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh, shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.